Greetings and welcome to GDS 047 Web Animation. My name is Curtis Pembroke and I'll be the instructor for the course. If you haven't done so already, please make sure that you download and print the syllabus so that you can review it during this video, and also so that you have a hard copy. I'm not going to make it reading by Curtis. I'll just highlight the important points of the syllabus. As I've said, my name is Curtis Pembroke and I am the instructor for the course. Most of you know me and have taken classes with me in the past. I've been with Mission College now just a little over 20 and a half years. If you need to reach me, I will not be on campus. So the first method to reach me is if you have a question about an assignment or the syllabus or something that is not personal, is to post your question to the questions forum in Canvas. Otherwise, send me an email if it's a question of a personal nature, or you can call my office at extension 5275. I will be checking my voicemails. My office hours are Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Friday by arrangement. Our course is a hybrid course, which means that we will have a face-to-face component for the lab from 7 to 9:20 p.m. on Wednesdays. And in the lab, what will happen is I will do a quick demo of what we're covering for the week. It will be a review of what you should have done in the reading. And then at that point, then you can spend the rest of the time completing the lab, and I will be available to you in Zoom as a resource for the remainder of the lab. You must check into the labs on time. If for some reason you can't attend the lab, that's fine, but please try to let me know 24 hours in advance. I know that there are exceptions, and if for some reason you miss a lab, just email me and let me know what's going on. The other half or so of our course is online asynchronous lecture and discussions and group assignments. And so that's why we're a hybrid course. So when we're not in the lab, you need to watch the online lectures where I will demonstrate software as necessary, or provide you with resources to demonstrate the concepts that we're covering. And I will have online lectures that cover theories and topics like the 12 principles of animation, for example. And we have online discussions. Again, this is a hybrid class. Lecture is online and asynchronous. The lab is live via Zoom. One important thing is that you need to log into Canvas and review the orientation materials in the folder like you're doing now. Complete all of the orientation materials like surveys, quizzes, etc. by 2/12, or you will be dropped. And that's because I have to report official enrollment, and because this is an online course, the state is really picky about students who are taking the courses, that they show up and they're counted as attending. So if you log into Canvas and you review the orientation materials, and you're in the class. But if you just, reviewing and completing like the quizzes and surveys, those all need to be done by the 12th. If you don't finish them, then I'm going to assume that you're not taking the class, and you will be dropped. If there's an exception, you're going to send me an email and let me know, or call me and let me know. But it's important so that I can officially report the enrollment somewhere around February 14th. And let's see, I have a list of important dates here that we include by standard. So what is GDS 047? Well, this is an introductory course that focuses on the skills you need to create an effective web page that includes animation. We're going to look at a variety of software packages so that you walk away from the course with a toolkit that you can utilize depending on the type of animation that you might be interested in creating. Animation, web animation, is very complex, particularly since Flash is now dead and gone. It requires a lot of code, and if you don't have those skills, it can be a challenge. And so we'll be using Adobe Animate because the editing environment includes a WYSIWYG editor that allows us to basically create our animation on a canvas that a lot of designers are used to seeing. And we'll use Animate to explore the principles of animation technologies, visual communication, UI design, etc. There are no requirements or prerequisites for this course. And so this is just a beginner level course. And the idea is that you have an environment like Adobe Animate to learn the principles of animation, and then later, as you progress through the program, you will learn to create animations using more complex technologies like an animation library or JavaScript and HTML, HTML5 Canvas, etc. And we'll talk about some of those technologies as we proceed through the course. When you complete this course, you're going to be able to design and create a variety of animations using Adobe Animate, and then you'll also have an idea of how to get started doing the same thing with some of the other tools that we explore. And you will have a good understanding of the basic principles of animation. Our textbook is Adobe Animate CC Classroom in a Book 2021 release. This book will not officially be released until February 10th, the hard copy. Fortunately, the state of California has an agreement with O'Reilly Books, and you can get the ebook for free. I'll talk about that in a second. There are some recommended books that I list here, like SVG Animations by Sarah Drosner, which is very useful but somewhat technical. And another one by Liz Blazer, Animated Storytelling, which I will reference in the lectures and in some of the assignments. It's a nice little book, really short read, and it's relatively cheap. And both of these books and the eventually Adobe Animate CC Classroom in a Book will be available at Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Now, I mentioned that you can get a free book, and you also get a discount on Adobe Creative Cloud. And so you can actually purchase Adobe CC Creative Cloud through Adobe and get the student discount, or you can go through collegebuys.org. Which is the Community College Foundation. You can try either one. You still get the same student rate. The other thing I recommend that you have for the course is a simple sketchbook, and that should be quad ruled or dot grid. To access the free ebook from O'Reilly.com, you need to start by going to the Mission College Library, and when you go to this web page, it will provide all the information on how to register for O'Reilly Books online. Let's take a quick look at the assignments. For this course, we have lots of labs, which is our primary assignment type. Right now we have the orientation, which is 20 points. You have 10 labs worth 200 points, so they're 20 points each. Participation is 100 points, so you will have to participate in online discussions. That's for the online component, not the lab, because this is a hybrid course. And then the final project, which is the final exam, there is no exam, your final project is the final exam, is worth 180 points for a total of 500 points. In terms of the final project, we'll talk about it some more in detail as we progress through the semester. But your job is to complete a final project, which is an animation that utilizes the principles and techniques that we cover in the course. And some examples of projects include things like interface elements, interactive infographics, slideshows, simple games, animated stories, etc. I have some examples from previous semesters that are in our course, and there are some additional examples from last semester or the semester before last that I need to upload, so you can get an idea of what the final project looks like. The important thing is at some point I will ask that you email me a proposal, project proposal, so I can approve it, because I don't want you to try to bite off more than you can chew. You know, creating web animation is very complex and very time intensive. In terms of grading, my grading criteria, the grade breakdown is very straightforward. I have to say, those of you who've had me before know that in my class you start with an A. And so as long as you complete the assignments and you make an effort to complete the work, then you will keep that A. I look at effort, not perfection. The schedule is very straightforward, and I'm not going to read through every one of the items. I did want to use week 3 as an example. For week 3, we'll be covering chapter 1, which is getting started, and then lab 2. So the first 2 weeks are dedicated to orientation, an examination of animation principles and theory, and then a look at web animation technologies and how they've changed in this post-Flash era. And as you can see, as we progress through the weeks, it gets a little more complex. The topics get more dynamic, like working with motion tweens and motion, character animation, where you see an example like week 6 and 7. Some topics we'll spend 2 weeks on because they're fairly complex, and I want to make sure that we're all clear on it. We'll also, where it shows toolkit, we'll take a brief look at the different animation technologies that are out there and that you may want to explore in more detail after the class or after you've taken GDS 45, 46, and 89, which is the JavaScript class. Everything else that's in the syllabus you can read on your own. I'm not going to make that, again, reading by Curtis. A lot of it is stuff that the college asks that we include. If you have any questions about what you see in the syllabus, the first thing I recommend is you post those questions to the question forum, because if you have a question about the syllabus or assignments in reading, the odds are that your classmates do too. Students tend to have the same questions. If you have a question of a personal nature, like for example, you might be missing a lab, then you're going to send that to me via email. Again, welcome to the class, and I look forward to working with you this semester.